We have a new case. We are checking on the 2018 case, a very nice Supreme Court decision. No? So before this Honorable Court, the Supreme Court, is a petition for review on certiorari and the Rule 45 of the Rules of Court. So we will have another video discussing the details of procedural law, like this Rule 45 of the Rules of Court. But this is a remedy given to a party receiving an adverse decision to bring their case before the Honorable Supreme Court. So this is one of the modes. No? So they brought this petition for review on certiorari and the Rule 45 of the Rules of Court, assailing the decision of the Court of Appeals. They questioned the Court of Appeals decision because that decision of the Court of Appeals set aside the joint decision of the Regional Trial Court, which affirmed with modification the judgment of the Municipal Trial Court in cities. So this involves 5 consolidated cases for Action Publicana. So this is the gist or the heart of our learning from this case. It is about Action Publicana or recovery of possession. So the pertinent factual and procedural antecedents of this case are as follows. Okay, as written in the decision, petitioners filed 5 separate complaints for Action Publicana or recovery of possession against the respondents, a certain Rinaldo. The suits, which were subsequently consolidated, were filed with the MTCC, which were later raffled, and the petitioners uniformly alleged in the said complaints the following. Okay, so the case started as 5 separate complaints. Okay, so once these complaints were filed, they were eventually consolidated so that there will be only one proceeding to handle the 5 complaints. It is more efficient that way, and it will also avoid the duplicity of suits. No, technically it is not duplicity of suits because that is prohibited under our rules. But since the facts may be in this case, there are elements or requisites for different cases to be validly consolidated. Since these cases were consolidated, I would assume that it's not written here, but let us assume that the requisites or the elements for cases to be consolidated were satisfied in this situation. So there were uniform allegations in their complaints that they are owners of 3 parcels of land. So let's just say lot 1, 2, and 3, or lot 19, 20, and 15, which are all located in the same barangay and in the same city. So basically, these lots are located within one locality. They inherited the lots from their predecessors in interest. They were in possession of the said properties prior to and at the start of the Second World War, but lost possession thereof during the war. Okay, so they had possession over the properties before the World War, before the Second World War, but lost possession thereof during the war. So after the war, the petitioners discovered that the subject properties were occupied by several persons, which prompted them, the petitioners, to file separate cases. So several persons, that is why when they filed the cases, these were filed as separate cases. They were not filed as one case, okay? So these were initiated by the filing of separate cases for action reivindicatoria and recovery of possession against these persons, okay? So during the pendency of these cases, let's see, herein, respondents entered different portions of the same properties and occupied them without the knowledge and consent of the petitioners. Petitioners were forced to tolerate the illegal occupation of respondents as they did not have sufficient resources to protect their property at that time. this is not, I'm not saying that this reason is acknowledged here or considered in the resolution of the case. But in reality, it is not uncommon to have parties who have rights over properties, but they do not have the budget, the funds to initiate legal action to recover the properties. That is not uncommon. In fact, that is a very usual scene, especially when the case involves large amounts of money to pay for the docket fees, no, court fees. Because when you file a case, it will be filed based on the assessed value of the property. Karon kung naa ka sa syudad, no, or commercial centers, mahal kay na basta-basta nimo ma-afford, especially kung dako ang property nga involved. So that was the reason, no, they were not able to initiate legal action immediately because they did not have sufficient resources to protect their property at that time. So that is their stand. And also because their ownership was still being disputed in the earlier cases filed. Subsequently, the cases which they earlier filed were decided in their favor. So wala na dispute as to kinsay owner. Ownership was no longer disputed, no? Or it was already resolved by a judicial proceeding. And they were declared the owners of the subject properties. Thereafter, the petitioners demanded that the respondents vacate the properties, but the latter refused. So obviously, when they demanded the respondents to vacate, they refused. Otherwise, if they voluntarily vacated, we do not have any Supreme Court decision to read with respect to the story behind this case. So the respondents before the court gave their answer. That will be the topic of our next video, the answer of the respondents. What were the defenses raised by the defendants, by the respondents against the complaint of the petitioners? Okay, so I'll see you in the next video.